If you're buying a home in 2026 and you've thought, I'll just go straight to the listing agent and get a better deal, this video is for you. Because what feels like saving money on commission can actually cost you tens of thousands of dollars in price, inspections, repairs, and terms when you don't have your own true fiduciary on your side. Hi, I'm Sharon St.Clair, a certified luxury agent with Hanna Real Estate Services, serving Peters Township, Upper St. Clair, and the South Hills of Pittsburgh. Before real estate, I worked as an attorney with the Securities and Exchange Commission, and I also owned a home inspection company. That means I look at your purchase through three lenses: contracts and liability, negotiation and compliance, and the physical condition of the home. Every week, I talk to buyers who say, if I go directly to the agent representing the seller, maybe they'll cut the commission and I'll get a deal. On the surface, that sounds logical. In reality, it's one of the most expensive myths in real estate. The listing agent's first duty is to the seller. Their job is to get the seller the highest price and the best terms the market will bear. When you walk into a home and work directly with that agent, you are stepping into a negotiation where they are already legally and contractually obligated to the other side. That's why I do not practice dual agency. I never claim to represent both parties in the same transaction. When I work with you as a buyer, my loyalty is singular and my job is very clear. Protect your money, your inspection rights, and your terms. The big question: do you still have to pay the buyer's agent in 2026? In 2026, commission rules have changed, and both buyers and sellers have more flexibility in how a buyer's agent is paid. In many transactions, the seller still offers compensation to a buyer's agent as part of their listing strategy. In other situations, buyers and their agents negotiate compensation directly, sometimes wrapping it into the purchase price or asking the seller for closing cost help. From a buyer's perspective, the important point is this: you are not automatically writing a separate check just because you choose to have your own representation. Commission is negotiable and transparent, and we can structure it so you stay protected and within your budget. The real danger isn't paying a buyer's agent. The real danger is not having one when you're making a 6 or 7-figure purchase. The dual agency trap: why going straight to the listing agent can cost you. Here's the common thought process. If I cut out the buyer's agent, the listing agent will reduce their commission, and I'll get that savings in the price. What usually happens in a dual agency or one agent situation is very different. The listing agent still owes primary loyalty to the seller. You have no one whose sole responsibility is to analyze risk, value, and strategy from your side of the table. There is no dedicated advocate running deep comps for you, highlighting overpricing, or structuring your terms to protect you. Even if the listing agent reduces their commission, there is no guarantee that savings are passed on to you. And without your own fiduciary, you're more likely to overpay because you don't see the full picture of recent sales and competing inventory, accept weaker inspection or appraisal terms, miss meaningful defects or negotiation leverage around repairs and credits. As a former SEC attorney, I'm very aware of conflicts of interest. Dual agency is essentially a built-in conflict. One person trying to stay neutral in a situation where you actually need someone firmly in your corner. Why a true fiduciary buyer's agent can save you money. When I represent you as a buyer, and only you, I can use my background to strengthen every part of your transaction, legal and contractual lens from my SEC experience. I scrutinize contracts, contingencies, and timelines so you understand exactly what you're signing and where your risks are. That can be the difference between a smooth closing and an expensive surprise later. Inspection and condition lens from owning a home inspection company. I know how inspectors think, what red flags matter, and which issues are leverage versus deal killers. I help you prioritize what to push on: roof, foundation, water intrusion, mechanicals, and how to negotiate repairs or credits effectively. Market and negotiation lens. I analyze recent sales and current competition so you're not guessing at price. I help you avoid overpaying in hot micro markets and recognize opportunities where you can push harder on terms. In a market like 2026, even a 1-2% swing on price or a few $1,000s in inspection credits can easily outweigh whatever you thought you'd save by going direct. Why I refuse dual agency. Dual agency is when one agent tries to represent both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction. On paper, it sounds efficient. In practice, it blurs loyalties. As a fiduciary agent, I want it to be absolutely clear who I work for. When I'm your buyer's agent, I am not also trying to protect the seller's price. I can tell you honestly if I think a property is overpriced or risky for you, without worrying about another client on the other side. I can negotiate aggressively for repairs, credits, and better terms because my duty isn't split. That clarity is exactly what you'd expect from an attorney or a financial advisor. And it's what you should expect from the person guiding you through one of the largest investments of your life. As a buyer in 2026, you don't have to walk into this market alone or unrepresented just to save on commission. Commission structures are more flexible and transparent now, but that doesn't mean you should give up having your own advocate. Going directly to the listing agent often costs more. A true fiduciary buyer's agent is often the difference between simply buying a house and buying wisely. The real savings come from smart representation. If you're thinking about buying a home in Peters Township, Upper St. Clair, or the South Hills of Pittsburgh, and you want a true fiduciary in your corner, let's talk. I'm Sharon St.Clair, certified luxury agent with Hanna Real Estate Services, former SEC attorney and former owner of a home inspection company. Text me at 724-503-0014 or email SharonSt.ClairTeam@gmail.com for a private, no-obligation buyer strategy session. We'll walk through how commissions work in 2026, how to protect yourself on price and inspections, and how to make sure there is no question about who is protecting your money when you buy your next home.